Welcome. I'm MA, and this conscious connected breathwork practice is going to be focused on bringing our awareness to feelings of tension and stuckness in the body and offering some somatic practices to help that shift. So, we're going to be getting introduced and set up for a few minutes, and then the breathing practice itself will be about 15 minutes. So, take a moment as we get started to just arrive in this space. So, you might silence your phone. You might close the door to the room that you're in. You can move your body a little bit and shake the day out. I like to do that. Bring my arms over my head and just give it a little bit of movement and see where your body wants to land. So if it's not possible at the moment to kind of let everything else in your world pause for 15 minutes, then come back and begin when it is possible. So if this is your first time practicing breathwork with me, please refer to the video linked in the notes for more info on setup and how to do the breathing practice itself. Also, lots of options about how to shift the breathing practice to make it work for you. And as always, read the disclaimer in the notes to make sure that none of the listed health concerns apply to you, and always check in with your medical provider before beginning any new meditation, fitness, or healthcare practice. Okay, so if you haven't already, it's time to pop on your headphones, lie down, and get comfortable in your breathwork nest. And you can pause this video while you get sorted. So make sure your knees are bent, either with a couple of pillows underneath them supporting them, or with your feet flat on the floor, or the surface beneath you, whatever that might be. And you might cover yourself with a blanket or use an eye mask or something to cover your eyes and focus inward. And these are just some options to choose from. So go with whatever setup feels comfortable and appropriate for you today. And also just remembering that that can change over time. Okay. And so now that you are lying down, perhaps your eyes are closed if that feels comfortable, just taking a moment now to notice the surfaces contacting the back of your body. And see if it's possible to feel the points of contact between your body and the floor, or the bed or mat or rug beneath you. In the back of the head, the upper back, hips, backs of the thighs, knees, lower legs and heels, the backs of the arms and the hands. And it might feel easy to tune into these areas. And they also might be hard to connect with right now. And that's all okay, exactly as it is. And just see if you can allow your body to maybe move a bit, making any adjustments that make it easier for the body to sink down and receive the support of the surface below you even more. And when you're settled again, I invite you to say out loud or in your mind, "This is my body. This is the back of my body. This is my body contacting the support of gravity and the earth." And take a breath in through your nose and sighing out through your mouth. And now turning your attention to a memory, a place, or a time in your life where you felt at ease or free or your most you. And if nothing comes to mind, imagine a space that feels welcoming and comfortable for you. Notice any colors, any textures, any scents, temperature that are part of that space. And so this is your inner sanctuary, your inner refuge. Know that this is a place you can return to at any time if you feel lost in the practice or find yourself uncertain how to continue, or simply when you feel complete with the active part of our practice. And now listen for what arises when you ask yourself, is there an intention? my body, my heart would like to bring to this practice today. And this can be a gift you'd like to give yourself, an energy or a quality you'd like to bring in, or a shift that you feel ready to experience. And if one has come to you, see what it feels like to say that intention out loud now. Great. Okay, and when you are ready, we're going to get started with that active breath. This is a reminder, if it's been a while, this is a 2-part inhale and exhale, all done through an open mouth. With the mouth wide open, the first half of the inhale fills up the lower belly. The second half fills up the chest, and then releasing it all through that open mouth again on the exhale. So filling up the belly, the chest, and exhaling. The belly, the chest, and exhaling. Can breathe continually with no pauses between the breaths. And the pace is probably a little quicker than you might expect. And just like that, keep going. You might feel that there are places that aren't moving so smoothly or where you can't feel the breath, and that's okay. Keep practicing what it might feel like to let the lower ribs move on those inhales and exhales. Practicing what it might feel like for the whole torso to fill with breath. Remembering that you can slow down the pace. You can breathe through the nose, or you could pause this active breath at any time. So you always have choices, and however you choose to practice is the right way for you. In the beginning can be challenging. So you might just recall that intention and keep going. And knowing your mind will wander because it is a mind. And there may be a lot of thoughts and opinions coming up. There may be some distracting sounds filtering in. You may not like the music. No problem. You can direct the mind to follow the sensation of the breath, feeling the inhale in the lower belly, the inhale up into the lungs, and the fall of the exhale. And just let the mind travel with these sensations. You got it. And see if there's just a little more space for a little more air to come in on the inhales, and a little bit that might be ready to leave on the exhales. And so for some of you, the energy might already be building quite a bit in the body. For others, it might be a little more subtle today. Notice any sensations that are arising in the body and see if it's possible to visit all of the sensations. Notice where they are happening in particular. You don't need to stay too attached to anything. Just saying hello and noticing, and then moving on to the next one. And naming what's there. Things might feel fluttery, trembly, maybe tight, maybe floaty, heavy or achy. There might be some twitching and contraction in the muscles. Maybe there are places that feel constricted. You might be experiencing some heat or sweating or chills. And there may be numbness. And there may be lightness or spaciousness. Finding the words as you travel through the body. And this is interoception, or inner sensing. And what you're noticing are various aspects of your energy, your own life force. See if you might be willing to be surprised by what you noticed. Bringing that full curiosity to your experience as you breathe, filling up the lower belly, filling up the chest, and exhaling. And just keep that going. And seeing if it's possible to let any sensation that you've noticed be as they are for now. And sensations tend to change when we stay with them, even and especially in the places that feel stuck. With every breath, we're just widening our capacity to be with what is. So with every breath, noticing the expansion on the inhale, the contraction on the exhale. Or perhaps it's more like a widening on the inhale and a shrinking on the exhale. Or maybe there's more of a tightening on the inhale and a relaxing on the exhale. Back and forth, receiving and releasing. Letting some movement help release any tension you may be experiencing in the body. And for some of you, movement might not feel possible right now. It might feel hard to move. The body might feel heavy. This is super common as well. And just keep in mind that you can pause the active breathing at any time and tune in to that inner refuge again. If it's time to move, you can start with your arms or legs, neck or hips. Open and close the jaw. See what can roll, what can move, letting your body shake or tremor. And see if it's possible even to run your feet on the floor beneath you with your knees bent. And maybe there is a whole tantrum of energy to shake out. And let yourself shake it all out. And when the movement is complete, returning to that active breath. You're doing great. Now taking 5 more of these deep, wide, active breaths. And this is our last opportunity in the session, so don't miss it. When those are complete, you're letting the active breathing go completely and shift into any breath that feels easy for you. And for most of us, that's in and out through the nose. Gentle breath. No need to try, control it in any way. Just letting the inhales and exhales naturally move through you. And now arranging your body for rest. And you might stay exactly as you are. You might also lengthen and stretch out and then let the body release down again. Again, touching into the back of the body, resting onto the surface beneath you. And once that's done, you'll settle in, scan for any places where your muscles are holding, inviting them to soften, and see how still you can be for the next few minutes. And if you'd like, you can check in with the top of your head, the spot at the center of the top of your head, and then move down to the space between the eyes or behind the eyelids. And then moving down, checking in with the heart space, and remembering your intention. Bring that into your heart space. And moving up, bringing that intention to the space between or behind your eyes. And then bringing it up to the center of the top of your head. And what if it is already here? Completing our time with gratitude for your presence and willingness to explore this practice and your own experience today. And when you are ready, that might be now, might be in 10 minutes. You can use some deeper breaths to start to wake the body up again. And slowly bring some movement back into the fingers and the hands, the toes, feet, ankles, wrists. And just see how gentle you can be as you return to your surroundings. I like to roll over onto my right side and hang out there for a bit before sitting up again. That feels good to me, but I invite you to find what feels good for you as a transition. And you might like to bring your hands over your heart, one over your heart, one over your belly, maybe hugging yourself, maybe a hand over your forehead and your heart, whatever feels good. Again, giving and receiving thanks for your presence and your care for yourself today. And whenever you're ready, opening the eyes. Welcome back. You may want to take a few notes. You may want to take a moment to orient to the room around you again. Looking over your right shoulder, looking over your left shoulder. Okay. Looking down and bringing your feet to the floor. And noticing how you feel now. What sensations are present now? I look forward to practicing again with you before too long. Bye.